Didi, how are you? Hi, Didi.
I'm
Can you hear me?
fine, and you?
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
good.
I
I'm
can
good.
hear you. Good evening, Mav.
Yeah, good evening. I think we're expecting, yeah, we're expecting Bob and Sam. I think Sam just joined us. We currently have about five people viewing, so we are live already. Okay. Sam, can you join the stream? Yeah. Hello, Samuel. Can you hear me? Hello, Sam. Can you hear me? Okay. Okay, so I think maybe Sam is still trying to fix up his microphone or something. But yeah, I can't hear Sam.
Honestly, this I don't even know who is who. Who is up? I don't know who is on stage with you, Mav, and I can't even see those that are here. Oh my god.
Actually, you can't see them because they are watching from YouTube. Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you very
All right.
well, Samuel. All right. So yeah. I mean, I think we can actually kick off already. We have five guys, five people watching from YouTube. Yeah, so I think we can actually kick off with the review. So, Samuel, are you starting off, or would Didi um, be would Didi kick off first? I don't know. Samuel.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, Samuel, I can hear you.
All right. You wait. My network had a little bit of glitch, so I think you said something.
Oh yeah, I was asking. I mean, are you going to be doing the review like immediately, or are we expecting Bob to join first? How do we go from here?
Yes, if you are on the health team, so basically, before we get started, I think we should have a little bit of an introduction. So this today's session is basically about the open source program that Techies Garage is organizing, and we've been doing this for a couple of weeks now. And today we are going to be listening to what the So we're going to be listening to what the different teams have done so far within the past 1 week. We want to know exactly what the health team have done and also the energy team. So we want to see the progress of work that has been done so far. And yeah, so basically, if you are joining watching us from YouTube and you're not on the Discord server, you can find link to the website, and from there you would have access to the community. And so if you are also on Discord server and you are in the health team, you can drop a message in the Discord server and tell us.
Yeah. I think they can even drop a message in the chat. I mean, the YouTube chat, of course. Samuel.
Hello,
Samuel,
can you?
Samuel. Yeah, I can hear you, Samuel. Did you hear me?
All right.
So I said
Yeah, I did.
we can use the chat. So Didi, I'm sure you can also see the chat, right? Yeah, I'm sure you can see the chat. So we're going to be having the audience drop messages in the chat on YouTube, and you can see that from the dashboard, on your end. Samuel, you can see that, right?
Yeah, I can see the chats. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. So I think Oluwasegun. Good evening. Yeah. Good evening, Shegun. So yeah, I think I can see we have nine people viewing right now. So let's just go ahead and drop a message in the chat. Let's be sure that you guys are following up with us. So please just drop a message in the chat, guys. Kolade, I can tell you good evening. Um, yeah, that is Oluwashina. Good evening. All right. So Didi, I think maybe you can take it up from here.
Oh, Okay. Olawale, welcome. Good evening. Okolo Chinemerem, welcome. Samuel Otil, drop your comments. We just want to be sure you can hear us and you're active.
Okay, so I think the health team just dropped what they've done. So, like I mentioned earlier, if you're not on the Discord server, if you're not in the community, and you would like to join and see what the amazing teams are working on, you can find the link to the Discord server on the website and join the open source program and see and join to solve a problem that affects Africa and provide value, also connecting with amazing people as well. So yes, Marv, have you seen the document? Have you seen what the health team have done? We had a call previously to talking about the solution the health team had installed, and we noticed some issues and some things that could be made better, and the team went back and I believe they've addressed those issues. So Marv, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Samuel. I'm currently looking at the document right now. Um, yeah, that's the PROD, correct?
Yes, the PRD.
Okay,
Do
okay.
you think we should share the PROD in terms of screen share, or we should just discuss it from here?
Oh yeah, I mean we can share the PRD while discussing it. I mean, I wish the document was actually like a regular Google Doc file.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's not. It's not. They used the team used Google Slides,
yeah. I
and
can see that. I can see that.
so
Okay, so maybe you want me to share my screen, right?
yes, please.
Okay. All right. So I'll just quickly download this as a PDF. That will be better for me. And yeah. So for those of us just joining, welcome, Lekon and Mohammed, Kasi. Good evening. All right. So I'm going to be sharing my screen. Let's share this tab right here. Okay. Just let me know when you can see this, Samuel.
I can see it. I can see your screen, Mav.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Oh,
All
okay.
right.
I think it's good help. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, Samuel, did we share like any template for the PRD? Hi, Samuel.
That they'll be working on as well. But yeah, I don't think the health team had access.
It seems like Didi, is it just me or someone is having a
Yeah,
net?
I think someone is having network issues.
Yeah.
He's
Okay.
breaking off.
Okay. Um. Yeah. So I think I can see code with Raquel. Good evening. Samuel, are you there now? Can you hear me? Hello, Samuel.
I think someone got cut off or yanked off the call or something. I don't know. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just noticed that now. Okay, you know what? Let's wait for Samuel. Let's just give Samuel, about a minute or two, all right, to join. All right, so guys, yeah, let's give him a minute or two to join. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so I think Samuel is back. Samuel, please let me know if you can speak. Um, Hello, Samuel.
Yeah, I'm back. I'm back. Sorry about the network issue though, but I'm back now.
Oh, great. Okay. Yeah, so I'm currently sharing my screen. We have 12 people watching from YouTube. So I believe we can actually take this one step at a time. Correct?
Yes, yes, we can.
All right. So yeah, I was saying I wish we have like a, um, kind of like a table of content, just to showcase the sections of this PROD, right? I think that's the first thing I'll be commenting on. A PROD is a document, and is not something that you are actually meant to be, except you're working in an organization where you have to present this, right, to a board. I think next time it's actually better if you have this in a document file. It's easier to just, walk through, and I believe it would also save space. Right now we have about 36 documents here. Well, I mean, it's good looking at the fact that it looks presentable, right? With bigger text sizes and all that. But right now, we basically have to, wait till we get to the page before we know the various sections we have in this document. Yeah, so I think that's the first thing I have to say. Overall, I think we can take it one step at a time. So the first thing here is the purpose of the product. Samuel, have you gone through this document before? Is this your first time of opening this document?
Actually, yes. I'm just seeing the document. The team dropped it just now, this evening. We asked for it earlier, but for some reason we couldn't get it.
Okay, so I think I lost Samuel again. Uh, Didi, can you hear Samuel?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Oh yeah, I can hear you. I
All
can
right.
hear you now.
All right. Yeah, so as you go through it, I'm also going through it on my own end, so I would be able to give my feedback as well.
All right, all right. Okay, so the first thing here is the purpose of the product, and okay, so it says the open source health record software is meant to provide a secure, reliable, and affordable way for healthcare providers to access and manage patient health records. Okay, and the software will also enable patients to access their own health records and provide them with tools to manage their own health. Okay, and provide them with tools to manage their own health. So I'm seeing a couple of things here. The first one, the first part here is to say the software will provide a secure, that's nice, reliable, and affordable way for healthcare providers to access and manage patient health records. Samuel, can we have the project, like the lead or the product manager, someone join us on the stream?
Let me drop a message for them. So if you're on the health team, you're the product manager on the health team, please indicate in the chat on the on Discord server so that we can add you to the stream on Discord server, please. On the Discord
On
server,
the
on your
Slack.
your channel. So in your channel, in the channel name, you can just indicate
Samuel, I don't know if anyone can hear you. Indicates, in the channel. I'm currently looking at the channel. I think Esther is typing. Okay. All right. Good. So Esther, I'm going to send you a link. Right. I'm sending it straight to your DM. So I just want you to, quickly pick it up. Just click on that link, and you'll be able to join us um, on the stage here. Okay. All right. So while we're waiting for Esther, so I'm going to take this again. All right. These are some details that I want, explanations on. Right. So the software is meant to provide a secure, reliable, and affordable way. Right. An affordable way for healthcare providers to access and manage patients' health records. And the software will also enable patients to access their own health records. So we're looking at the patients, of course, using the software, communicating with the software as an actor. We have the healthcare provider as actors as well that will be using the same system, right? And from what I can see here, to access their health record and provide them with tools to manage their own health. So yeah, I think we have. Is Esther on the stage now? Oh, not yet. Yeah, Samuel. It seems like you left the call earlier. Can you speak now, Samuel?
Yeah, I can speak now. So, wait, while I was away, I can see Esther has indicated that she's a PM. So,
Yeah, yeah.
were you
I,
able?
I, I dropped. Yeah, I dropped the
Okay,
link. I sent the link to Esther, and I'm waiting for her to join the stage.
all right.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't know, Esther, if you have seen the link, please join the stage. Okay, so maybe someone else can. Maybe Esther is having difficulties joining with the link. Um, yeah, do we have someone else? Maybe like the kind of like the lead, Samuel. Do we have someone else that can join us on the stage? Esther, Esther is
Okay.
probably having some
Yeah,
difficulties.
I will try to address. So basically, if you're also on the team, please, so that we won't waste too much time on this. I will. So Esther, please check your DM. We've sent you the link. We've sent you the link. So check your DM on Discord. Check your DM on Discord. Okay. Check your DM on Discord and you'd find the link in your DM. Mav sent you the link, and I also just sent you the link. So click on link and join. And if there's also any other person who has been very active in the team, please indicate also so that you can join the stage. It's going to be a very quick one. We just want to give you feedback and move on from there. Hello, can you hear me now?
Yeah. I mean, I can hear you, Samuel. I think we're actually waiting for someone. I don't know if any other person has indicated. Um, Oh, Esther is saying you didn't send. Oh, no, I actually sent you a link. I think maybe you have to accept the message or something. Someone just sent you the message as well. Oh, I think she's here. All right. Okay.
Hello, good evening. Can anybody hear me?
Yeah. Yeah. Samuel, are you saying something? Okay. Yeah, I can hear you. I heard you, Esther. Esther.
Okay, so you say you can hear me.
Which
Sorry, good
kind of
evening.
network
Sorry.
issue be this?
Samuel.
Someone please mute your mic. Mute your mic.
Oh my God. I think this network is actually frustrating Samuel.
I'm telling you.
All right. All right. Okay. Okay. Oh yeah, Olalekon. I think Olalekon dropped a message. So Olalekon, I also sent you the same link. Please.
Sorry, good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes. I
Oh,
can hear
okay
you.
then. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I can hear you. So yeah. So looking at the document, while we're waiting for Samuel, let me see. Samuel, can you hear us now? Hello, Samuel. Oh, okay. All right. So Okay, so I think Samuel left the stage. Okay, so looking at what we have on the screen, I just want you to just walk us through. Right, I'll be moving from page to page. I'll be asking a couple of questions, but the point of asking those questions is to ensure that everyone is properly aligned. Right, we have about 17 or about 15 people currently watching on YouTube. Okay, so we just want to ensure that we're all properly aligned on what we are trying to build, right? And I'll be taking down some notes, which means by the end of the session, after going through all the sections of this PRD, we would of course get some feedback here, and those feedbacks will also be shared to the open chat, right? The open chat on Discord. All right. So yeah, can you see my screen? I'm currently sharing my screen, Esther.
Yeah, I can.
Okay. All right. So for the purpose of the products, right here we have, of course, it's an open source health record software, and it's meant to provide a secure, reliable, and affordable way for healthcare providers to access and manage patient health records. So I think this is what I want us to also, understand. So when you say affordable way for healthcare providers, I want to understand like what is the context. Do you have any context in mind when you say, affordable way?
Okay, so presently, if you go to the hospital now, if you go to hospitals now, like you have to pay for like a file for you to like store your record, for doctors to store your record, or even if it's a private hospital and they have like a system, you still have to pay you still have to pay an amount, and then sometimes the amounts are always ridiculously high because we are looking at not everybody can afford it. But then if we build something like this, I'm sure that we'll be able to like get it to we'll be able to get it to like people that need it in like in an affordable with an affordable amount. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that's
Yeah.
what we're looking at.
Okay. So which means, for the hospitals, for the health facilities using the software, we don't expect the patients to, okay. So first of all, is it going to be completely, accessible by these hospitals without any need for, installation, setup, or like there will be no fee for setting up anything, like because of the cost of having this software deployed in the cloud, right? So I don't. I need to get the context around there. So if I own a facility and I want to use this software, what is the definition of affordable? Do I have to pay to set this up, or if we have not thought about this, if we have not, had any discussion about this, we can please take that down and move on to the
Okay.
next. Okay. Yeah. Go on, Esther. Hello, Esther. Um, Esther, can you hear me? Didi, can you
I
hear
think her
Esther?
network is also. I can't hear her. I think her network is also bad.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of like a general thing in Nigeria right now.
Okay,
Like
all right.
Honestly.
Hello, good evening.
Sorry, can you confirm
Yeah.
that you can hear me?
Okay, yeah, Esther, we can hear you
Yeah,
now.
good evening,
Olalekan was speaking
everyone.
to you. So.
yeah,
Okay,
okay.
sorry. You can please go on.
Okay. Let on go on.
Okay, all right. Since Mesa is back, maybe I just allow her to talk, and if I need to add something to it, then I'll just do that.
Okay, good,
Yeah.
good. All right. Esther.
Okay, so we plan on building like a SaaS like interface for the hospitals, and then if you like do a research on like a SaaS like hospital management program, like the amount these hospitals pay for like the program per month like is ridiculously high sometimes. Because okay, I worked in an hospital last year, and then when I talked to somebody about the program they use to like manage their this thing, like the prices they were paying for it, like 20,000, 25, like that's like ridiculously high. Although it has everything, but I feel like it's like on the high point because that means like all these hospitals that don't have a lot of patience to like to pay that amount. That means they won't be able to afford it. You get. So that's why I feel like that's why the keyword there was affordable, so that people will be able to afford it, and all the substandard, not substandard, sorry, not substandard, but people that are not like Reddington, mother and child, like hospitals like that, they'll be able to afford it. So that's why it's affordable.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. That's nice. Later on, do you want to add to that?
Okay, all right. Well, maybe maybe what I want to say will even be like a question to Esther, actually, even though we are on the same thing, but developer. So we had conversation around stuffs. Even I and Esther, like personally, but I mean, we didn't discuss this part of affordability. But I want to believe that if there's an hospital doing 20K, maybe on a monthly basis, to have that, I don't think it's much. I don't want to know, except if there are maybe all this primary health care in our neighborhood, then I might say. But if it's an hospital, they charge well enough to afford that. I don't know. I don't want to sound as if maybe, but 20K, if it's in naira, I think it's even extremely low. So it should also be a way for the government, because it's not like an individual person that's going to be. So I mean, it's more like a way for the government to even generate a revenue. So maybe it might be a one-time thing. Maybe the affordability might not come like, okay, you are having access to this, you are having access to data of patient for you to be better, to be able to take care of your patient better and stuff like that. And so for that, maybe it's a yearly thing that you do a subscription for maybe 100K, depending on the size of the organization actually. So that too might come in place. But also the government needs to generate money to keep running the servants and every other thing that would need money. So yeah. So basically that's what I want to add to that.
Okay. Okay. All right. So I think I would take this down for the affordability. I think we so you guys would have to look into that and of course discuss that even further. Right. I understand that I don't really expect us to have discussed every single part of this system, of course, right? But when I see something like this, I'm actually triggered to ask that question. When it comes to the angle of considering what is affordable, I think it actually depends on how you want to run the system. Of course, you called it a SaaS solution, which of course it is, right? A multi-tenant solution, and the way you price multi-tenant solutions, would differ, right? Depending on, I think it's better to always price based on usage. That's my opinion. There are several reasons why you might have different pricing models. Looking at this, you don't want a hospital with like 10,000 records to be paying the same amount to the hospital with just 1,000 records or 2,000 records. So maybe it's based on the usage, right? Kind of like a pay as you go model. But I think it's better you look into that. Having a fixed price might not be the best solution, right? Or it might even be the best solution, but it depends, right? It depends on a lot of a lot of things. And I think when you have that conversation in detail, look at all the things that goes around the pricing of a software like this, then I believe you will definitely come to a better conclusion on your end before we have a different review to discuss that. Okay. We would also talk about this reliability, security, and all this stuff, but we can't zero in on each and every one of them right now. So, but this is good, and I assume this is the kind of like the overview. I was asking if we were given like a template for this PRD, right? And the reason why I was asking that is because it's always a good idea um, to work with a document that I would say is familiar, right? Most of us can see that document and say, okay, this is familiar. You're looking at the overview, you're looking at this, you're looking at that. So yeah, but let's continue. So this is the problem statement, and the current healthcare system is fragmented and inefficient. Patients often have to share their health information with multiple healthcare providers, which can lead to errors and delays in care. Okay, so I think right here we're saying patients often have to share their health information with multiple healthcare providers. You are referring to the manual process, right? They have to share the healthcare information manually, right? Like all the time when they get to a new facility, right? Because even in a system like what we are building, they will still have to share this information, right? Lekon, please, you can of course uh, add to that, Esther.
Yeah, sorry.
So
Sorry.
In this, okay,
Okay.
okay,
Sorry,
Esther,
Becca.
please go first.
Okay, so what we're talking about in like patients won't have to share their information because like we wanted to build like a future um where a doctor can refer a patient to another doctor and then it sends along medical record of the patient. So that's what we're trying to build, but not in the first release, in the second release. That's why we put it here as our problem statement.
okay, all right. Lekon, you want to add to that too?
Uh, yes. Okay. So basically, the problem right now, yeah, when you go to most, but I think some of these hospitals are trying to solve that. But so now, let's say for instance, you based in Lagos, and there's one hospital that you use actually, and you go there often and stuff like that. So most of the time, before now, what they do is paper documenting. So they put it inside a file. So they say they have a file for you, and they put it there. So now, let's say you're in Abuja, and then they want to carry out a diagnose, and then they're asking you what and what are your health records and stuff like that. So before now, all you need to do is probably call the doctor or whatever, if they can send the paper in for you or whatever, or you just use your mouth. So the problem we are trying to solve is that, and I do not even believe that this one is like, you want to start to what's the word now, send your file over. The way I see it, and I think maybe Esther did not get most part of it, or let me just share. This is my own view of it. Like, I don't believe that we need to share their health record. It's on the server somewhere that if you are registered with the government to have access, right? You would have access to it. Like now, if you go to your hospital, is in what's it called? In Okay, sorry for that. So now your hospital is in Lagos. Hello, am I audible?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go on.
Hello.
Yes, Lekon, we can hear you.
Okay, so your hospital is in Lagos, and then okay, all right. Your hospital is in Lagos. You have all your, and they use this system. They use our software, right? They use our software. So now, which means they impute all your record whenever you visit, and it's there, and it's now saved on a central server somewhere. If you're going to another hospital another day, that is not that one, because the record that they save, it's not storing on their own local server in their what's it called? What's the word now? It's not being saved only on their own local server or in their own. So now when you go to another this thing, when they impute your data, so instead of saying that, oh, this hospital share your file with me, no, they don't need to do that. That's what we call ID, right? Using your patient ID, they are able to log in, and then they fetch your data from the cloud. That is from the government, secured, cloud. So that's how it's going to be like available to everybody, except that is not feasible. But I think that is visible. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. So I think I actually understand, what you guys are trying to solve, right? I think it's an amazing idea. What I'm not very sure of is the way it is, put here. Do you understand my point, Lekon? So when you say the problem you're trying to solve, let's go through this again. The current healthcare system is fragmented and inefficient. Patients often have to share their health information with multiple healthcare providers. I mean, which is exactly what is still happening. The moment the patients put the healthcare information on the platform, it is shared as well, but it's automated, right? So if you say patients have to, share this, manually, then I think I understand that, of course, that is the inefficiency we're talking about, right? The manual, picking your file from one place to from one health facility to another health facility, or if you are, just going for tests, every time in different facilities. I think that is, kind of, inefficient. I can relate to that. Yeah. So when you write it this way, it's better to add more context, right? And you said which can lead to errors and delays in care. Additionally, the cost of healthcare is rising, and many patients are unable to afford the care they need, right? So if this is part of the problem statement, because when you write a problem statement, it means you're trying to build something that solves that problem, right? So when you say additionally, the cost of healthcare is rising, and many patients are unable to afford the healthcare they need. Um, are you saying the software or the product we're building will be able to, mitigate the cost of healthcare, or probably, like reduce, the cost of healthcare? Because I don't think that's what we are trying to do, right? Yeah, Lekon, you can just now the questions I ask, guys in the audience, feel free to throw in your ideas as well. Okay, feel free to share your ideas or what you think about this. That's what we're doing here. It's open source, and the idea is everyone's opinion, of course, is needed. Okay, Lekon or Esther, yeah.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I think you should throw that out. The person that did that is supposed to write the cost of maybe registering for healthcare is rising.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, all right, good, good. Okay, so that's fine. So please take note
Okay.
of this. Oh, Lekon, go on.
Oh, okay, all right. That's basically what I want to say. So I said I want to say that I mean we're not solving avoidability. I mean I don't think that's the problem we want to solve. I'm actually not like part of people who write, but I was involved with most of the discussion on the group. So yeah, I mean we will take note of this. I myself is jotting this down. So and I might actually like do a bit of volunteering with the PMs, and we might able to look at things together, maybe before
Awesome.
pushing it out all that time. So yeah, but Esther and the other person did a great job. I mean, there were just two of them
Yeah,
actually.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
this is well done to the guys that actually created the documents. Documentation is not an easy task as well. Research and documentation. So well done to the entire team. And these are some little mistakes, of course, and that is why we are here to have this review session. So yeah, take note of that. So let's continue. The open source health record software would address these problems by providing a secure, reliable, and affordable way for patients and their healthcare providers to access and share health information. All right, this makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. Secure, reliable, and affordable way. Okay, and the software would also offer a variety of features that would improve the quality of care, such as clinical decision support. Okay, clinical decision support. So the software would offer a variety of features such as clinical decision support. Okay. Yeah, I mean, let's throw more light on this. Anyone, Lekon or Esther? Clinical decision support. Of course, I understand that we are not, medical experts. Okay. Yeah, so we understand that very well. Let's just get like a better context of what we are looking at. Is it like the telemedicine kind of thing, right? Or is the software
Like,
operating
I'm
with
so
some sort of
sorry. I'm so sorry.
okay?
Are we
Go on,
going
Esther.
to read this throughout the call?
We are not going to finish everything here, Esther. Okay. Once it's time, once we max out the time, then we have to schedule for a different session. When you are having a review, you have to basically ensure that you look through the details of what you have provided. Obviously, we cannot do that. We have 36 pages here. Okay, Esther,
Oh,
are you
okay.
here?
Yes, sorry, I can hear you. Yes, sorry, I can hear
Okay.
you.
Yeah, Marv, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now, Samuel. I can hear you.
Oh yeah. All right, I want to apologize for my network issue. It's a lot is happening on my end on network wise. I am trying to sort it out, but yeah, I'm here now. So I would give my 2 cents on this so far. Not comprehensive enough, I know, but I've not been able to go through it completely because the document was only made available this evening. So yes, the structure of the document, you would have written this with Google Docs. It would have made it a
Yeah,
lot more easy. Now, Google Docs, because it is collaborative, you can easily have people on the file, editing, making changes, and all that. Google Docs, because it is a text based software and you can have things organized like a document. This is supposed to be a document that is
Sorry, we did
constantly
it in
being.
Google Docs, but then you
Oh,
guys said
really?
that we have to present, so it felt like it would be better for us to like present in a Google presentation.
Oh, yes, I understand that. But yeah, next you just use the Google Docs. It makes it a lot easier because, and also we can understand and see the flow of information because, I mean, we've all used PRDs at some point. So well done. You guys did a good job. And of course, there are a lot of feedback I want to give, but because of time, we spent a lot of time already. And I feel like we should. Ma, what do you think?
yeah. So the thing is, we have a lot of pages, of course, to go through, but the major part here is we need to first ensure that the problem statement and the purpose of the product,
Yes.
aligns properly, right? Because every other part of the document is actually leveraging, the information
On
we
the
have here.
purpose.
Do you
Yes.
understand me, Esther and Lekon? So every other part of this document is going to fall back on, trying to solve the problems based on what we've outlined in the problem statement. So, if we get this correctly, if we understand everything happening here, we are not going to really go through every single assumption. We'll definitely read this off the call, okay, then get back to you. But this is what we all need to align. We need to make sure that we come to, like, we have an alignment on the problem statement and the purpose of the product. Right. Okay. So yeah, Samuel, are you still saying something? I just want us to, before we max out 1 hour, let's try to understand the details here. So when we say clinical decision support, I'm actually trying to understand you know
Okay.
how this would work in some.
Yeah, before the team addressed this, we in the previous conversation and sessions we've had, the what we thought the idea was going to pivot towards is a recording system that will be available to all health providers across the country because you're trying to solve a problem that touches everyone that can be used. The software can be used and morphed into any kind of product. So
Yeah.
basically, a recording system, right? To record a health recording system. But I don't know, from the scanning I've done, it seems to have more perks than that, and it seems to be shifting away from a recording system. So I don't know if probably I've not spent time to read it well, but what do you think, Mav?
Yeah, I mean, it actually has a lot going here. So, and that is why it's a good. I mean, it's lovely, to see we have like population health management, analytics, clinical decision support. So, if we can at least get the detail right, then we focus on, like the MVP would focus on the recording system. I think that's kind of like the major focus, right, including the security, like how data would flow through the system, right? If we can nail that, but of course, these are features. Of course, these are features, right? Software can be extended. Okay. So yeah, I mean, Lincoln, Esther, what do you have to say about
Um,
this?
okay, all right. Thank you, Mel. So Samuel, um, presently, yes, recording is like the major thing in the software, and I agree to that because that's the like the problem we're trying to solve. But I can tell you that today, when you go to some of these hospitals using like something like this already, all this electronic medical health record, and they use it for virtually everything they do in the what's it called, like in the hospital, even administrative tasks and all of that is within that system. So now if we're now saying okay, move away because some of them even manage their payment, you know discharging a patient, like think about it, like every operation in the hospital settings they use it for it. Because I mean, I had to, I had to like do a bit of what's it called with my friend, so she had to walk me through most of the stuff that so they virtually just use it for almost everything in the what's it called in the hospital, and even some other healthcare organizations. So now the problem will now be if we just focus on recording alone, like recording patients um, data alone, and then you're not pushing it to them. They'll be like, okay, and there's no other features. So which means that they will still need all that other one. They will still need the other software to do their tasks, and they will need that one. So we don't want it to now be in that case where you still need plenty tools to just manage one thing. So why not just, as much as we're focusing on this, let that to do the other things that you want to do within the
Yeah,
hospital. Yeah.
yeah. Look on. Yeah, you have a very wonderful point there. So what Samuel was trying to point out is that when you're about to build a system, you should always have like a core, right? The core purpose of the system. Every other thing, from population health management, that is still recording. Of course, you are recording data, right? So analytics. At the end of the day, you're basically working with data, transforming data, doing a bunch of things. So I think what Samuel is trying to talk about is, having a software that can actually record the data. But the difference between this solution, right, and the existing solution, then becomes the main thing. So what exactly is the difference? The fact that you have like a centralized, like a single source of truth, right, and then you are able to, multiple tenants, right, which are the facilities, would be able to use the same solution, right, and data flows from one source to the other, depending on, of course, based on what we've implemented as the security, feature behind the scene, how this data should be controlled, how the data should be managed. Okay, so that is the major difference. That is what we are trying to build. The moment you're able to build that, I mean, features will always come in, right? Features, you are plugging in, new features, you're taking out some other features if you're not comfortable with that. So, yeah, I agree with you, Lekon, and I also understand what Samuel is trying to describe. But looking at the problem statement, we did not really. Of course, it shows that it's an health record software, right? And it says it would address these problems by providing a secure, reliable, and affordable way for patients and healthcare providers to access and share health information, right? Which, of course, is what we're trying to do. And the software would also offer a variety of features that would improve the quality of care, such as the clinical decision support. So this is the point where you are now, telling us that, oh, we want to actually do a lot, we want to do more, right? And listing out these things without your team understanding what we have, listed out, it's not, it's a good idea that we have more details. Do you understand me, Lekon?
Yeah, definitely I do. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Mark, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Samuel.
Okay, so my network is still unstable, but I want to just give my final two cents in case network decides to fuck me up again. So basically, the solution is basically an input process and an output system. So if you see, we have to see this from a systems perspective. It's very important. So the system takes in information, processes it and it gives out information. Then together with the permissions, that is the basic concept. And the purpose of us doing it is to make, based on the previous conversation we had, is to make health record available to health practitioners and health providers. So from hospitals to clinic, pharmacies, and all that. So they'll have to get some sort of licensing to be able to have access to database. Of course, we can set all that up, but there's this issue that we always have as product teams, especially if you've worked in companies or project, whatever it is. It's easy for us to add more details to a simple idea. And of course, it's good to iterate over time and build a much more comprehensive solution. But I think we should always have that thing where we stick to the very basic, especially when we are trying to communicate what we are building to a team or to our people who are not involved in the actual process, so that they can easily understand without getting lost in the complexity of the nuance of the project, right? So we want to keep it very simple in a way that people can easily understand. One, like the core idea should be simple, not just like the content. Like core idea should be simple. Then when we've implemented that core idea, we can then lay out more solutions. Just like Marv said, like we can add more, we can plan future launches. Now, this is an open source project, so it's not going to end. There's no end date. Of course, we plan on finishing this within the next 3 months, so that if you want to continue the project, you can continue. If you want to move on to a new project, we have a plethora of projects that you can work on. But within that 3 months, we want a simple solution. It to be very important and helpful for you, and to be very motivating for the team also, that
Yeah.
within a set deadline, you are able to create something meaningful. So if we add more specs and perks with features into it, it will reduce our ability to implement it. And if I remember, this is not a paid work, so having time to work on it is going to take its toll. So you want
Yeah.
something that people can see and won't get frightened by the level of technicality and complexity. So something that you can easily explain and describe to a child, like, okay, see, this takes in information, this gives you information. You need to have so and so detail for you to be able to access it. Of course, before you be able to access, you need to take permission from person's information, data you're trying to access. Of course, we can even add AI. I mean, if you think of features, we could add AI so that we can process information at an automated level.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things we could add, right? But we want to stick to the basic. It's very important we stick to the basic. And so basically, that's all I have to say. So subsequently, we want to have the Google Docs. This is open source. The Google Docs we're referring to is not that it should have edit access. We don't need edit access, of course. We just need to be able to view it. So that everyone is open source. So the entire internet should be able to see what you've done and give you feedback. And because this is an internet level open source feedback,
Yeah.
you're going to get quality solutions, feedback that would help to make sure the solution is well refined and the output comes out really well. So I'm done speaking.
All right, all right. Thank you, Samuel. So, yeah, I mean, from a product angle, Samuel is actually, he actually made, a lot of sense there. The truth is, features can come in. When you actually look at different, solutions like this, probably solutions that are not open source. I've not seen any. I think the first time I stumbled upon, building an health record software was in 2016, right, for a hospital in Ogun State, right, Nigeria. So yeah, I mean, the software was, I mean, the department, the nursing department, all these departments in the hospital, a big hospital, they were able to actually, use the same software, but it was then running on a local network, right? And yeah, I think the next time was when I worked with a startup in Rwanda. They're building the same thing. It's a company, and they're still, doing this. It's a startup, right? And that was last year. Now, the idea is wonderful, right? I think what we are not including here is the fact that this is a multi-tenant solution, right? Or a SaaS solution. So if you look at this right now, you said, for patients and healthcare providers to access and share health information. Now, of course, this is kind of, giving a level of description, but trust me, for someone that is already used to, having this kind of software installed on their, local facility, when the software is not running on the internet, it's better you add some context that will make them understand that, oh, what are these guys talking about when they say SaaS, right? or when they say multi-tenant. So it means, oh, what you're trying to say is, different health facilities can use the same system, running on some network deployed online, via a web URL or an IP address, and we can access this software and do whatever we want to do based on the permissions and based on based on the permissions that we have within the facility. Is that what you're saying? Right? And that is the most important part that we should focus on. Right? We have a bunch of things here that can actually mean a lot. I'm not a medical person, so I don't know. When you say clinical decision support, I don't understand that. I don't know if the software is giving clinical decisions or making like giving us information that is not uh, created by a physical, like a doctor, right? Is it an AI related stuff? I don't know. Okay. Population health management, of course, I know what this is, right? And this can be an extension. You can build this as a feature. Obviously, you can, right? Analytics feature, right? Because you are, at the end of the day, you are basically going to work with the data that you've already acquired in that software. Okay. And I can see we also have like a lot of other details here. I'm not going to go through all this detail because I believe that they are coming from a wonderful. I mean, they were made up by they were created or probably written by people who have had multiple discussions, and they understand these things probably better than myself. But I think we should focus on the main the core idea, right, which is the open source multi-tenant or open source SaaS health record software. All right, that I believe is more important at this point. And yeah, we can just stop here. Let's just have the basic the basic flow. So someone mentioned something. I think we need to really focus on that as well. Having the software that can basically perform the basic operation of saving the patient's record, having multiple people log in or sign in, and access the record if they have the access or the permission that they need to do that, right? So which means we're looking at having the actors being able to access the system, making sure we have the right permission, which means security wise, it is properly set up, right? And there's a standard. I think there's a standard for this. There's a standard called the I think it's the HIPAA standard. You guys should have that in mind. You can check it out, right? Make sure when you're implementing access control, you are able to follow. I think the HIPAA standard also applies to like Nigeria. I don't know, but if there's a different standard for this health thing in Nigeria, please try to do some research. Okay, try to check. I don't know if it's on this document, but we're not going to go further, right? It's already past 1 hour. And yeah, I mean, do you understand my point, Lekon and Esther? You get my point? Can anyone hear me? Didi, are you there?
Yes, very well, very well, very well. I can say.
Okay, awesome, awesome. So,
Yes, very well. Can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you now,
Hello.
Lekon. I can hear. Yes, Lekon, I can hear you now. I can hear you. Okay, so when you're working on a system, after designing the PR, the next thing we'll be looking at is MVP. We'll get there, but we always have to have that at the back of our mind that okay, the MVP is the minimum viable product. So what can we do now, right? The first the first functional system that we can build, and you're looking at the inputs, the outputs, the permissions, so try to ask yourself what is the most basic thing we can build right now that that shows we are able to kind of like the proof of concept, right? We're able to build this and we're able to actually deliver on this, right? Make sure your system is secure and of course well architected in such a way that it will be easy to integrate more features like what you've mentioned here, the clinical decision support, population health management. These are just going to be probably plugins or additions, or features in the future. All right. If you are able to hit this and you are able to get this properly, right, making sure it is multi-tenant, having that in mind, trust me, and you are able to also, design the system in such a way that it is reliable, it is secure, and it's also affordable. But of course, I think Lekon said that this is not what we're trying to solve. So check that. Think about it. Affordable in the sense, how do you want to price this system? When people are installing this system, how do you want them to actually even set up the system? Do they have to go to the website, create an account as an admin account, and do the setup by inviting other users? Are they going to invite the doctor and give the doctor, the permission, or the permission they need? Are they going to invite the nurses? There are so many things you can be thinking about right now. We're not going to discuss that. I believe the team should have that conversation. If you want to have myself or Samuel or Bobby, or Didi in your conversations when you're having your meeting, feel free to send, let us know, right? We believe, you guys are, amazing people, smart people, and of course, this is going to be a success. I believe that. All right. So, yeah, I think that is it. Samuel, do you have anything to say?
Well,
No. Yeah. Yeah, Samuel, go on.
okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you, Samuel.
Okay, I think you've said it all, and I believe we would come up with a refined solution that would we can move over to start implementing. And so basically, would if you are in the health team, please share your email with me, like private DM, so that I would add you into the file, Figma team account for the project, so that you guys can start familiarizing yourself with wherever you would need to implement this. And yeah, just like Marv said, we need to just make sure everything is simple and move on to start building. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, Esther and Lincoln, of course, if you have anything to contribute, go ahead, unmute yourself, and let's hear you. Someone in the chat actually said, I think they mean the already existing records will guide the new diagnosis, right? I think she's referring to the clinical decision support, right? So I think that's what she's referring to there. I guess Okolo Chinemere. Yeah, so Lekon and Esther, do you have anything from your end?
Okay, all right. I mean, I think
Can anyone hear Lekon?
Well,
Samuel,
I can't hear Lekon, but I don't know.
I think
Lekon,
he's
can you?
I think he's speaking, but we can't hear him. Lekon, can you maybe, I don't know, disconnect and join again or something? Esther,
Yeah.
Lekon, we can't hear you.
I
Okay.
get it now because I'm looking at it at the I'm looking at the old software,
I think Lekon, please, maybe you should leave and join again, okay? Lekon, okay? Okay, Esther. Okay, so I don't think Esther is saying anything. Lekon, can you hear me now? Oh, okay. Didi, Samuel.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you, Mom. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you, Samuel. Okay, so
Oh,
I,
I think we should
I
just
know,
proceed.
yeah, I noticed Esther was trying to say something too, but we could not hear her. So it seems
Network.
like
Yeah, network is
the
just.
network providers are working together.
And
Um,
yeah, they are. It's just very annoying. Very
what, what what
annoying.
what do we call that in Web3? Samuel, is it decentralized? Okay.
Oh
Uh,
well.
okay,
Uh,
so
the
yeah,
health team, the health
okay.
team as well. So if you're in the health team, please indicate. We're meant to have a session with the health team as well to know what idea they've. Not sorry, not health team. That was a mistake on my end. I mean the energy team to to discuss what they've done and the idea they've come up with. Then, if you so basically, if you're joining us for the first time, this is Techies Garage, and this is an open source program. Basically, you can and join any of the teams in the community and build meaningful solutions for Africa. And so, if you we have the team for we have two more teams that are in need of new experts and people who have skills in anything between design, engineering, PM, whatever it is. So transport, if you're interested in working on a solution relating to transport or you're interested in working on a solution relating to fintech, those two teams are still available. They still have some slots. So you can join in and make them complete. And you guys can brainstorm on an idea and build it together as a team. And of course, we'll be with you throughout the entire process to make sure that we provide feedback and support in any way we can.
Yeah, and to add to that, Samuel, the amazing thing about having this kind of program, having this kind of this kind of session that we're having is it's basically going to serve as long term education, right? To you, to myself, right? Even though we're on the stage here, we're also learning from the ideas, what you share with us, and when we look through these these things you've put together, we see a lot of a lot of talents. Trust me, a lot of talents. Yeah, because we're going to be reviewing like your engineering implementations, your code, whether backend, front end, cloud, DevOps, whatever it is, that you have, the pipelines you have, the workflows you have. We're going to be looking at them, and we'll try to give advice. Of course, we'll give a lot of advice. Um, would also do reviews for the designs or even the product management workflows, the way you structure your team, the way you communicate across the team. You'll get to learn a lot, right? When you work as a team, you get to learn a lot about the soft skills required to be a good team player, right? To be a good collaborator. So I believe we are all going to benefit largely from this kind of project. So yeah, and of course, if you're interested in joining the other, just as Samuel mentioned, the other projects, I think you can indicate on Discord, right? There's a Discord server. So if you're not on the server and you're on Discord, yeah, there's a link. I don't know. Can someone share the link in the chat? Samuel, can you do that?
Oh yes, I
Did
will do that now.
Okay, awesome. Esther, do you have anything to
I think so.
Oh, okay. All right. Esther, do you have anything to add before Didi would basically help us close the
Sorry,
session?
can you hear me now?
Yes, Esther, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. I said thank you so much for the suggestions and then the comments. Like we'll work on them.
Awesome. Awesome. Well done. Well done. You guys have done a very wonderful job already, and yeah, we would keep looking into it. Thank you, Esther. All right. So yeah, Samuel and Didi, thank you.
Um, are we going to be inviting the energy team?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think we have like the PRO dish of the energy team yet, so I don't think so.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
If that's it, then
Have any?
I
Sorry,
don't
sorry
know.
about that. Go on, Didi. Go on.
I don't know if Samuel has anything else to add.
Okay, yeah. Someone is asking if you're on a team, can you join another team? No, you can't join another team. It's important to focus on a particular team, and build with them. Joining multiple teams will reduce your ability to be effective in any of the teams. So we want you to be effective and contribute your part. So just focus on one team, contribute meaningfully to it. So you have to pick. So pick a team that inspires you or something that you think you can provide value to.
And please, if you are yet to join a team, the fintech team still needs about 6 people, right, Samuel? And the transportation team needs about 18 people.
Yes,
So
probably even
please.
less than six, because a few,
Um,
some, I think it one or two. We had a few people who indicated interest this evening. So if you still want to join the team, you have to quickly get into the Discord server, check the general channel, and indicate. Basically, you mention the skill you have, and as well as the project you're interested in. In that way, we know what team to add you to.
yeah, for now we have just the fintech and transportation project available. So
Yes, yes. So yes.
you're
So
welcome, Oluwasegun.
my namesake. So if so for the energy team, if you are in the energy team and you're here, please, we would love to have your idea. So we would love to have your idea in a document so that we can make that available to everyone to look at and give you feedback. Then of course we would have a session like this to give feedback, that a more comprehensive feedback. But please put your idea together in a document, a Google Docs document preferably. And thank you, everyone. Thank you to the health team for coming. And we hope that feedback that was provided was helpful. And yeah, Marv.
Yeah, so I think that's all. That will be all. So
All right.
I think the next thing would be tomorrow. I think we'll have a different session tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken, Samuel.
Oh, yes, yes. So we might have a session tomorrow to that will be depending on the feedback we get from the energy team. If we're able to get that, we'll have a session and have that conversation with the energy team. Otherwise, I don't think the session will be necessary.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, it means we'll be dropping a message on the Discord server. We'll let you guys know if there'll be a session tomorrow or not. With that said, have a wonderful night, and yeah, see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.
Night. Okay, how do I exit?